Supernovas Unlimited. I'm Ana Bellinghausen, joined now by setter Mac Pedraza, one of the new signees to the Supernovas. Welcome in, Mac.
How's it going?
Well, thank you so much for taking your time to join, and I just have to ask the first question, which is why Omaha? Why'd you decide to become a Supernova?
Yeah, I had a great first season in the PVF, had a lot of fun last year at the Grand Rapids Rise, but I know Nebraska volleyball from playing in the Big Ten, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. I know what it's about from the other side. I'm excited to see what it's about having Nebraska and the state of Nebraska, the fans and all of that on my side. So I think it's kind of a no-brainer to give the Supernovas a shot, and I'm really excited about it.
So, Mac, we were talking beforehand, and I found out you have family members in Nebraska. You also grew up a Cornhusker fan, and lots of Nebraskans will resonate with that. But what have been your first impressions of the fans in Nebraska and how they treat volleyball here?
I mean, it's like no other. I mean, it goes back to the 92,000 in the football stadium a couple of years ago, or was that just last year, I think? It's so crazy, so cool. They really take women's sports seriously, especially volleyball. We always said playing at Ohio State and Penn State that Nebraska fans cheer for good volleyball. So even if we were winning points, they were still clapping. The arena was really loud. And even last season with the playing against the Supernovas, those fans just cheered for good volleyball. So I think they take it really seriously. So I'm excited to see what it's like for them to actually cheer for me and not just for the good volleyball.
Yeah, I was going to say that. What kind of feeling is it knowing that you'll have the backing of Nebraska fans versus you're at Penn State or Ohio State coming into some hostile environments?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it's all about. I think I got to play with Kayla Caffey last year, who experienced Nebraska volleyball, and then we played together at the Grand Rapids Rise. So I'm excited to play with her this time again and to experience what she's told me about Nebraska volleyball and just like about how you walk down the streets and people are like, oh, hey, like, what's up? They know you because they've seen you play before. So I don't know. I'm really excited about all of that. The fans take it seriously. I was in Omaha last weekend and I got to meet some of the fans. And it was cool to just have the opportunity to get my name out there. Some people already knew who I was from college and from playing last season. So it was pretty cool to see.
Mac, when you're graduating college, did you ever think this was all possible to play professionally here in America?
No, I think it's incredible to have the opportunity to stay in the States and play here. I come from a line of volleyball. My mom played, and I remember after losing the finals, we were all pretty upset and pretty sad, but she gave a bunch of my teammates some words that I'll never forget, and it gives me chills every time I think about it. But the things that we're doing right now are things that people her age that played forever ago would only dream of doing. So don't take it for granted, and I definitely don't. I'm really blessed to be in this position, and I am very grateful for the opportunities that the PVF is providing, and just allowing us to get to stay in the States to play pro volleyball here is really cool.
Well, you mentioned your mom, and I know she's very involved with PVF as well up in Columbus with the Fury and that front office staff. And then she's a Hall of Famer at Minnesota as well. What has she meant to your volleyball journey and still continuing that support with you in the professional area too?
Anytime that I get asked who my role model is or my volleyball superhero, whoever I look up to, it's an easy answer. It's always been my mom. I mean, she's taught me so much. It definitely took me a little while to come to the realization that she actually does know what she's talking about. You know, for a while when I was 13, 14 years old, she was just mom and she was giving me feedback. And I'm like, oh, it's mom. But as I got older, I realized, you know, mom knows what's up. So definitely over the years, I've come to realize that she knows what she's talking about. And I think it's really cool to be able to have her in the stands watching. I think it's really cool to have her as a role model working in the PVF and doing what a lot of women would love to do someday. Women like me, girls my age that want to work in sports someday after playing too. So it's cool to see her living out those dreams. She did it back in the 90s, working for the AVP tour, and now she's doing it again, working for the PVF. So it's really cool to see.
Have you guys had conversations just how special it is to have a mom working for this league and also a daughter playing in it?
Yeah, we got to play each other our first match last season. So the Columbus Fury came to Grand Rapids and we got to play against each other. And I remember running to find her before the match and she immediately started crying. And it was just a really emotional day. Like, I don't know, it was the first time that I was getting to play professional volleyball in the United States. She's watching professional volleyball in the United States and something that she would have dreamed to do forever ago. But not only is it a dream that she's watching, but she's getting to watch me do it. And I don't know, again, chills thinking about that. So we definitely recognize how cool it really is.
Did you always want to play professional volleyball, or was there another route you were planning on taking?
Pro volleyball was kind of always in the forefront of my mind. I didn't know what that was going to look like. Obviously, I didn't think that this was ever an option. I didn't realize that this was an option until very recently. I think most people would say that. So I think throughout my college career, I looked to go play overseas. My mom played a very short stint overseas, I think in the Netherlands right out of college, and that was all she did. And she came back to the States and ended up playing on the Pro Beach Tour. She played in the AVP Tour. So that was the route she took. So she did get to stay stateside and play some beach volleyball professionally. But yeah, I kind of always knew that pro indoor was something that I was interested in, but I had no idea what it was going to look like.
What did you think of this first season in the PVF?
I had so much fun playing with the Grand Rapid Rise. It was so fun. Like the team, the group, the girls, everything was a lot of fun. The PVF ran way smoother than I ever could have expected. I think it went really well as an organization, but then I think just getting to play volleyball. And I mean, at one point I was sitting on the bench and I looked down at the girls to my left and right, and it was a bench full of All-Americans that all were first, second, third team All-Americans in college. And it was just a really cool moment to like kind of sit back and realize, wow, I'm amongst really great players and this is a really cool opportunity.
Yeah, you bring up a good point because everybody in the PVF is, that's the top 1% of those college players all getting put together. What were some of those big adjustments or differences you found from the college game to pro?
I think the pro game, there's a lot more speed and tempo that I definitely wasn't used to. I ran a really fast offense at Ohio State, and then when I went to Penn State, we slowed it down a little bit. So having to adjust back to that fast offense was more of a challenge than I expected. I also think, in college, I got the opportunity to play a lot. And last season, I didn't have the opportunity to play a ton. I got in here and there, and I did my job and I played my role well. But kind of finding that role as a bench player and someone that comes off the bench and is ready to go at any moment was something new for me, but I embraced it and I decided that I'm going to be the best freaking cheerleader out there and rowdy as can be on the bench. And I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, now you kind of start that process right over again and you go through a training camp. You want to make your spot. You want to solidify, potentially starting spot down the road too. But how do you look at that competition and just getting better day in and day out?
That's all you can do. That's all you can look at it as is an opportunity to get better every single day. I live by a motto, grow through what you go through. So you have the choice every single day, whether it's a trial or tribulation or something that's really awesome and great. You have the choice to either grow from that or to kind of bury yourself even deeper and get nowhere in life from that. So I choose to grow every day and get better in any way I can.
Well, as a setter, where do you feel like you've grown the most over your time professionally?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think as a setter, the game moves really fast around you and you have to be able to adapt. I think as a professional player, the girls are always changing. We didn't really have a set roster. We didn't have a set lineup every single game. So to be able to adapt to whoever was on my court, whoever was on my side in the practice gym, or whoever I was setting on the game court, kind of having to adapt to them without a ton of opportunity to do it behind the scenes. It was kind of just go play and see what you can do. I think I learned a lot about how to do that because that wasn't something I really had to do in college. But I think I got a lot better at being adaptable and being able to change my game when I need to.
Well, Mac, for fans that haven't seen you play, what kind of player are you on the court?
I like to have a lot of fun. I think I'm a rowdy setter. I think that's something that a setter needs. I think you need a little chip on your shoulder and you can have your teammates' backs at all times. Setters aren't the ones that get the glory, so I know that. I like to dish it out and hype up some people when they get some points. So I definitely play with some swag, some angst, I think, a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm a fun player on the court. I think I have a lot of fun, so I'd like to think I'm fun to watch. But I guess the Supernova fans will be the judge of that.
Will it be pretty fun getting to learn behind Natalia Valentin Anderson too?
Yeah, 100%. I'm really excited to learn from Nati. I got to meet her last weekend when I was in Omaha, and she's a sweetheart. She's such a good player, and I'm really excited to take away anything that I can from her. I mean, being 1 year removed from my rookie season, I'm really excited to learn from a vet like her. She's got a lot that she can teach me, and I'm excited to take in every little bit I can.
Well, Mac, to end things off, what's a fun fact about you that fans need to know?
I am a coffee connoisseur. I love a small town coffee shop. So I will always take any coffee recs at any time, but I love to go and explore a city and find a cute little coffee shop. I think you can tell a lot about a city or a town based on the coffee shops that are there and the vibes that you get from it. So that's my, I post a lot on my Instagram. If you follow my Instagram, you definitely know that. But that's my thing, is finding a cute little coffee shop.
All right, so Supernovas fans in the comments, we got to @Mac and give her some coffee recommendations in Omaha, because I know there's plenty.
Oh, yeah. Give me all the recs. I need them all.
I love it. Well, Mac, thank you so much for your time, and we can't wait to see you out in Omaha this next season.
Thank you. I'm excited.